Everybody, this is the Weather Monkey. So far this Thursday, we've had dense smoke from the wildfires in the Boundary Waters and the smoke coming out of Canada. And now we've had a few storms erupt and it's cleared the smoke out. That's the good thing. I have been watching these clouds and there's an awful lot of lift right now being sucked into these storms. So I decided I would go live and record live stream these low clouds being pulled up into the storm, and we're gonna keep an eye on this storm and follow it for a while. I have noticed a little bit of rotation on radar in the past couple scans. I don't see anything right now, but there's definitely a northwest wind coming into these storms that are moving from the southwest to the northeast. So like I said, we'll just keep an eye on them for a while and watch them to see what they actually do. This is the Weather Monkey. So if you get some time in the next few minutes, I would appreciate it if you, number one, subscribe, and most importantly, hit that like button. Thank you. So like I said, we'll just keep an eye on this stuff for a while and see if anything develops. There have been a few pretty good cloud to ground lightning strikes. But as you can see, a lot of this moisture is being pulled up into the storm. These storms kind of blew up in 45 minutes from really nothing to possibly hail producers. I just drove out of pouring rain, which you can see is coming at me right now. Right now it's just sprinkling here. The road is barely wet. Once again, this is the Weather Monkey. I'm heading southbound on Highway 61 along the Mississippi River between Winona and La Crosse. Just thought I'd come out and check out some pop-up storms that have developed over the last hour. I just left maybe 15 minutes ago torrential rain, and now down here the road is dry with just a few sprinkles, but I noticed the wind is picking up as this storm develops. The Weather Service did say there was about a 10 to 15% chance of pop-up thunderstorms when I looked at the forecast this morning. But with the poor visibility, you couldn't really see anything. We had pretty dense smoke in the valley from the wildfires up near the Boundary Waters and into Canada. But this rain has pushed a lot of that out. sure it's been pushed to the east. Right now we're actually between two separate cells. When I stop up here, I'll take a look and see if those two cells are going to merge or if they're just going to stay by themselves. They're definitely going to merge. And they don't seem to be the type of storms that are pulling in a lot of air. They seem to be developing outflow boundaries. So we'll see what happens when these two storms merge. If the one gets stronger or not. And one thing about being in the valley here is you don't get a good view of things happening off in the distance. All you've got is what's happening in front of you. I think I'll head a little farther south on this frontage road without getting back on the highway. I know there's storms developing to the west of me, but where I'm situated right now, I can't see them. As you can see, there's bluffs in front of me, and the only way I'd see those storms to the west is if I got up on top of those bluffs. I could have turned back there and got a better look at what's coming, but I'll stay down here for now. I get a couple minutes here, I might hook up my camcorder. Because right now, like I said, I'm just running off my cell phone. See if I can set up my other camera mount here. Try to wipe the window off a little. That might work. I'll move the camera over here a little bit. Give you a different view. See if I can get down a little farther and get a little bit better of a clearing. I do see rain behind me starting to move in on us. So we'll sit here. I'll sit here for a little bit longer. Like I said before, this is the Weather Monkey. I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe, and you'd be really helpful with my stream if you'd like it. am seeing some green when I look up through the tops of these clouds. So I'm not sure if it's the hail's actually blowing out of it or if it's just a hail core. Doesn't really show any hail on radar, so. But these two storms are merging right now. And the storm we're looking at is definitely getting a lowering. And the problem is we can't just decide to go over towards that storm, cross the river, because the river crossing is 15 miles from here, 10 to 15. Then to get across and then get back up the other side of the river, that storm will be totally different by then. So we're better off just watching it from here. See if I can move up a little farther and get a better angle on it. Let me lower my window and wipe that rain off of it. Actually, right now I'm looking at the radar, and there's definitely some spin. By just looking at the radar, you can see the clouds are spinning without even going to the velocity. We'll move up a little more. So yeah, there's a lot of rain coming this way. I am going to set up my front mounted camcorder here. Otherwise, if it's raining, all you're going to see is raindrops on a window. Okay, so we got the front camera mounted. Like I said, now we're in the rain, so I'm gonna head south a little farther. If we can get out in front of this again. Like I said earlier, we were pretty much sucked in with smoke this morning. And of course, after this heavy rain, that smoke will be pushed out with more of a southwesterly wind versus the northwesterly wind that we had earlier today. off the ramp there. We'll park up on the ramp and take another look to the east, which is about 2 miles ahead. I do think it's hailing on the other side of the river up near Galesville. It's probably starting to hail up there. Now we're starting to come out of that rain again. So I'll go up here a little farther and then I'll swing around, face back towards the storm. I see some tree damage here. probably hear it. Some pretty good lightning strikes happening right now. Let me get turned around up here so we can get a view to the north. This road is just covered with pine cones from that tree back there. So we'll sit here for a minute or two, see if anything else develops. Once again, this is the Weather Monkey. If you could subscribe, that'd be great. If you could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to head north on 61. I don't know if you can see all those pine cones that were in the road, but the road is just covered with pine cones. I'll back up. There's a couple cars coming by, so I'm going to wait a minute here. So I don't know if you can see them or not, but the road has got a lot of pine cones on it. That tree probably lost 50% of its pine cones on that one gust of wind that came through. If you can see them there right off the front of the camera. Okay, so I'm going to head north now. Probably run into some decent rain on the way back north. Take about 10 minutes to go through this rain. By the time I get through this rain, we'll probably be through the storm. I don't see a whole lot developing on the back side of this storm. So I think what I'll do is I'll just end the stream because there's not much left here anyways. If something starts up later tonight, then I'll come back on and go live, but I don't anticipate that happening. So if that happens, I will go back live, but like I said, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'd like to thank everybody who has watched the stream. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing. We went from thick smoke in the valley to thunder and off in the distance to rain and lightning thunder in about a 15-minute time frame. So things really blew up quick. So till next time, like I said, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, so the next time I go live, you'll be able to get the notification. When you subscribe, it'll ask you if you want to be notified, and you can click the bell saying you want to be notified. So anytime I start a stream, you'll get a notification on your device. And also, don't forget to hit that like button, because the more likes I get, the more my stream is pushed out. So, like I said, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And have a good Thursday evening. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.